What is going on, Hoops fans? Wanted to get another quick New York Knicks video up on the page, and in this video, I wanted to discuss the New York Knicks schedule, which just came out today, and there's a number of matchups on the schedule I'm really looking forward to. And usually when the Knicks schedule comes out, I like to look at, when this certain team's coming to town, whether it be the Clippers this year, the Lakers, the Sixers, the Raptors, the former champions. There's a lot of teams that you really look forward to watching, and I always like to see who we're playing on Christmas, because the Knicks usually play on Christmas. They haven't not played on it since 2015. Well, unfortunately, this year, the day that a lot of people look forward to at the NBA season, the Christmas Day games, the Knicks will not be playing on Christmas. They got shafted this year. Usually the Knicks get a game, obviously, because they're a huge market. They have a huge fan base. But this year the NBA decided not to schedule them on Christmas, so we will miss out there. But there are a lot of big-time matchups. I'm not going to go over every game. I'll probably point out 9, 10, 11 games that I'm really looking forward to. And yeah, we'll jump into the schedule right now. Let me pop that up for you guys right there. They start on the road this year against San Antonio and Brooklyn before they come back home. San Antonio, of course, is going to be hard. Popovich, great coach. And Brooklyn's going to be a pretty good team this year, being it on the road. Not really a road game. I expect the Knicks fans to fill that stadium up, and hopefully we can come up with a split before we come back home. Of course, that's going to be a big storyline. Kyrie Irving, how he decided to pick the Nets over the Knicks. That will be a big storyline in that game. We then come home for the home opener against the Boston Celtics. And I think we all know what the storyline might be there. Obviously, other than the New York-Boston rivalry, we got an Enes Kanter. An Enes Kanter was never one to shy away, whether it was eating cheeseburgers, whether it was sticking up for his teammates and Frank Ntilikina, or just saying stupid headlines to the newspapers. And I'm sure he'll provide us with some headlines before that game, being it's the third game of the season and the home opener for the New York Knicks. So that's a storyline there in the third matchup. We then go back to the road. The next premier matchup I want to talk about is November 14th, and it's about, the 10th game or so into the season, and it will be Kristaps Porzingis' return to Madison Square Garden when the Dallas Mavericks come to town. I expect Dallas to be a pretty good team this season, and it'll be interesting to see how Kristaps Porzingis is received at the Garden. A lot of people loved him, a lot of people didn't. But he was thought to be one of the guys that we thought could bring us to that next level before the Knicks traded him off last season. And there are rumors that Porzingis forced his way out. We'll never know the true story probably, but just an interesting game right there. That will be one of the 4 or 5 most anticipated games on the schedule. Porzingis and, of course, Luka Doncic, who doesn't want to see him play, coming to the Garden early in the season. The Nets then make their debut at the Garden November 24th. Of course, the Nets, the Knicks, big rivalry there. And again, the Kyrie Irving storyline. And maybe Durant will show up even though he's not playing. We'll have to wait and see with that. The Sixers later come to the Garden later in the month on the 29th. And they are projected to be one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference with everything they got going over there with Tobias Harris, Al Horford, and of course Simmons and Embiid. So a lot of fun games early on in the season. After that, it's kind of a break, in terms of the home games. I'm not going to really look into the road games. Portland comes in on January 1st, New Year's Day. Portland, really good team, went to the Western Conference Finals last year. Should be a fun game on a Wednesday night on New Year's Day when you get to see that dynamic backcourt come to the Garden. And then where it really gets interesting for me is late January. They have a great 3-game homestand there. January 22nd, 24th, and the 26th. The LA Lakers come to town for their only game at the Garden. LeBron, we always know, tries to light it up at the Garden. So he will be making his lone appearance at the Garden January 22nd with the LA Lakers. 2 days later, we will be taking on the defending champs, of course, without Kawhi Leonard, in the Toronto Raptors on the 24th. And then the Nets come back to town on the 26th. So that's a very interesting 3-game homestand. And then, later on in the schedule, March is where it really heats up for me yet again. We play a couple really good teams. Houston will be coming for their only appearance at the Garden. Houston, of course, with the dynamic tandem there with James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Utah, 2 days later, comes to the Garden. And they, to me, are one of the most underrated teams in the NBA. I love the dynamic they have there, and that should be a great game as well. So 2 good games right there. Golden State will be making their appearance late in the season on March 21st, and on the 23rd, it is followed up with the Clippers. So that is a great back-to-back homestand right there. Golden State, of course, with Curry and, Draymond Green, and they have a really dynamic team. Everybody, they're always a hot ticket. And the Clippers will probably be the hottest ticket in the NBA this year with the tandem they've brought over there with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. So should be a really, really fun season, and that's really how the schedule breaks down. They finished the season in Minnesota on the 15th, and hopefully that game means something. Hopefully the Knicks could get us some competitive basketball, but the schedule's right there, guys. If you want to stop the video, please feel free to check it out. I just wanted to go over some of the key matchups. The games I'm really looking forward to, of course, the Lakers, the Clippers. You always looking forward to the Nets, the Sixers, the Celtics. Those are the games you're always looking forward to, and the Mavericks are going to be a very popular game this year as well. The other game that I should have touched on, the New Orleans Pelicans, which I missed on, will be another very highly anticipated game when we get to see Zion take on RJ Barrett, which will be on January 10th, the former Duke Blue Devil teammate. So those are the games I'm really looking forward to, guys. I'd like to get your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think the Knicks will do this year? How do you think of the schedule breakdown? Which games are you most looking forward to? As always, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.